Something's cooking in Kelsey's kitchen. Come on in, come on in. And if your belly's got that itching, come on in, come on in. The main ingredient is a pinch of loving, and only the best comes out of Kelsey's oven. Come on in, come on in, come on in.
Welcome to Kelsey's Kitchen. I'm Kelsey Nixon, and this is where we make fast, fun, and affordable meals. Today we are having a super show, and when I say super, I mean super, because we are making 3 different kinds of soup that are all amazing. We're making a chicken tortilla soup that's got some nice meat, a lot of texture to it. We're making a wonderful tortellini Florentine soup that's great, has some nice pasta in it. And last but not least, we're making a broccoli and cheddar cream soup that has only 4 ingredients. I know you guys like those recipes with only a few ingredients, so that's a good one. Let's get started with our chicken tortilla soup. This is such a good soup. Make it all the time. I have friends who make it for baby showers and wedding showers because it's not very expensive to make a lot of it. So you can feed lots and lots of people and doesn't break the bank. So let's start off with some onion. I've already chopped half of this onion, and we'll go over the specifics of dicing an onion because it really looks more difficult than it actually is. So I've got that in there, got this on about a medium heat. Those onions will start to sweat, get some moisture in there. So what I did is I peeled the skin, the outer layer of the onion, and I sliced it in half, keeping the root intact. That way my onion's not going to fall apart. So then I put the heel of my hand back here, and I'm going to make a couple of slices right into the onion. Next, I'm going to make like a bear claw, put it on the back end of the onion, and just make some slices down the center. Now, once you've done that, you're simply just going to kind of seesaw through your onion, and you've got a diced onion. And in cooking, it's really not that big of a deal what size of the dice your onion is, just as long as in the end they're pretty much all of the same size, because that way they'll cook evenly. I like to go through and just kind of chop it up a little bit more. Because this is a soup, we don't want anyone to get a spoonful of a big piece of onion. That probably wouldn't be that enjoyable. But the onion does add a lot of flavor, especially to this soup, so you'll want to make sure to use it. People have asked me questions before about the different types of onions in the grocery store. You have Spanish onions, you have white onions, you have red onions. And, you know, Spanish and white onions can be interchanged pretty much. The red onion has a little bit more of a different flavor. I particularly like it in salads, things like that. And for this dish, I would recommend a white or Spanish onion. Spanish onions are yellow in color. So, making a mess, as always, in the kitchen. Let's get this onion in there. And you know we're going to add a little bit of garlic, because what's a good soup without a little garlic, right? So, I'm going to pound on it there, and the skin's going to pull right off. Okay, there we go. Just going to chop this up. And the smaller you chop that garlic, the more intense the flavor is. So you'll want to make sure and do that real good. Same thing, we'll go through and just kind of mince it up. Oh, I can already smell those onions in there. They're sweating and they smell great. Now, soup. I'm telling you, this is a great thing, especially if you're in college, because you can make a big batch on Sunday and soup freezes like a charm. You just stick it in some of those nice plastic containers, and after cooking your soup, you want to make sure that it comes to room temperature before placing it in those containers and freezing it. But it freezes great. It's nice to have on hand. There's so many different varieties you can make, and I'm telling you, it's foolproof. It's almost impossible to mess up soup. I'm convinced. And as I was getting ready for the show this week and practicing these recipes, I said to my mom a couple of times on the phone, I forgot how easy soup really is. And I'm going to start making it a little bit more often too, I think. So, okay, this looks good. Now, if you're using garlic or onion in a soup recipe, you'll always want to start with that because it'll add flavor to your pot nicely. And once you sweat those onions and the garlic, the aroma just smells wonderful. Okay, next we're going to add our liquids. I have got 2 cans of beef broth. We're going to increase our heat just a bit now that we're adding some liquid. And this beef broth, that's a tongue twister, only costs you maybe 99 cents at the most. Don't pay over that, I'm telling you. And if you get a good deal, you can get it for as cheap as 36 cents. I'm all about the deals. And this is 1 can of chicken broth. And now they're making Seasons chicken broth. This actually has a roasted garlic flavor in it, so I thought I'd try that. Same price, why not? Next, I'm adding 1 can of, these are stewed tomatoes. Now, these also have certain flavors, like this is an Italian recipe with basil, garlic, and oregano. And it's great to kind of get any extra flavor that you can, especially in a soup. Now, the stewed tomatoes, some people like the bigger tomatoes. Some people like to chop them up, make them a little bit better for the spoon size in eating soup, but I kind of like that big texture that they add to my soup. Okay, next I added, this is just some diced tomatoes with green chilies. So basically all I'm doing is taking canned ingredients, throwing them in this soup, and you won't believe how great it tastes. Okay, so now all of our liquids in. Going to add a couple more things. This is 1 4-ounce can of green chilies. I love green chilies. I know that there's some people that don't. I actually know a lot of people that don't, but I love them, and I love the color and texture that they give to this soup. And you know, the good thing about soups is that if you're missing 1 or 2 ingredients, your soup will still work. And if you want to add another thing or something like that, it's very it's very kind to the experimenter, if you will. So we're adding some corn now. This is equivalent to 2 small cans of corn.